For some reason, I believe that a lot of what's going on, there is a lot going on, is connected to each other. So I think it's linked to what just happened in the money system with the Genius Act, using these stable coins and this big, huge push in that new direction. This is especially true for silver and gold. That's why I think that along with the technicals, we're seeing a bigger push when this level of resistance is broken and a new high is reached. And, silver has this big cup shape. In fact, it's the biggest double cup shape I've ever seen. Going all the way back to the 1980s. This is really cool. Because of this, I believe that the spot silver market will most likely hit that $50 level of support by the end of the year or soon after. It needs to go through it. That's what I want. Just make sure it goes through it for 1 minute. After that, you can take a short break. Okay? And even at these prices, silver is still not fully priced to what it's really worth. To me, silver is always a bit of a tricky metal because it's both the second most valuable metal and a very important metal for industry. Because whenever something is called that, it's the exact opposite. Also, keep in mind that I've been studying money and how countries change over time since 1987. People don't understand that the new system, at least for this time, didn't start when that act was signed. And I want everyone to fully understand that what I'm saying doesn't mean, oh, this wasn't a big deal. We just switched gears, okay? That's not how it works. But they had to get adoption, which they did from 2009 until they signed the Genius Act. They are now getting even more people to adopt them, and we will all be pushed to do so. However, I'm sure that I have no doubts at all. I may be wrong, but this is such a strong feeling for me. Most of the time, I'm right when I have these kinds of thoughts. Though the times are different, I'm always right about this. It is easier and cheaper to make new money, so more new money will be made. Or, I should say, it is easier and cheaper to make new fiat money, so more fiat money will be made. This is a repeat of what happened in 1914, when the Federal Reserve was set up and company debt, or balance sheets, were used to make Federal Reserve notes and a lot of money. And between 1913 and 1914, when they became legal at the end of 1913, people lost about half of their buying power. This began in 1914 though, as you can see by the 10-to-1 number. Now, companies are working together to make this market happen. Because, well, who doesn't? Now, making money appear out of thin air does two things. First, it increases the amount of money that exists. Second, and I've said this before, it creates a false desire for dollars. After being backed by gold and then oil, the dollar will need to be backed by stable coins in order to keep its value. This is on top of the fact that these companies are now being forced to buy treasuries. So, for the government, besides switching from a system based on paper debt to one based on digital purchases, which is what we're looking at here, my biggest worry is that we have already technically entered a period of hyperinflation based on the M2 velocity. This is the tool to bring it on. That's my biggest worry. Even though I wasn't an adult at the time, I was old enough to be aware. My family was very smart, and I loved listening to my parents, aunts and uncles talk about penny ante-poker, because they talked about things I knew a lot about, like the Depression and World War II. But what do they say? That won't really change because of this. It is, because we just switched to a whole new method. These people don't want you to know this, because once you do, you'll be totally a part of it and won't be able to do anything about it. You need to start getting ready now. I mean, you better have real gold and silver on hand, because I can say with certainty that we are quickly heading toward hyperinflation. First, I would tell you to call us and let us help you learn more. But I'm on the advisory board of the Citizens for Sound Money movement, which is a global sound money movement. I think this is a very important chance to get sound money back into the economy after the crash, so as the younger generation comes up, and my 12-year-old grandson is one of those. He really understands sound money. He likes to gather metal. Good job. He tries to get me to sell him gold all day for $15 a coin, but he really wants to be involved. This is why you should have these kinds of talks. Join the Citizens for Sound Money movement and look into what you can do to help your local government bring sound money back into the system. This is who the fight is really for. I'm not interested in it. I'm old. Because of what I've done for myself, I don't even worry about my family. I have plenty. It's for everyone else's future, because protecting the future of our children is the most important fight we can have. But I feel like I was sold out, and that's not okay with me. As another thing that gives me some hope, President Trump is thinking about adding more crypto and other alternate investments to pension plans, which scares the crap out of me. But he is also thinking about adding real gold and silver to those plans. He is a transformative president, and this change must happen because the currency has no more purchasing power. Hence, I think he is giving something that he knows will be harmful. Having gold and silver in those systems, on the other hand, makes me think he's also giving you tools to protect yourself. This gives me some hope because I do believe that we can make a difference in the new system, since they can't just back a currency with gold if we can work together as a global society. This means that we need to do things both locally and globally. When you do that, the debt will be fixed at levels that can't be paid, and you need a clean balance sheet to fully adopt this new system. You have to get rid of the trash from the last system before you can fully accept and enter the next one. This is what people need to understand. Gold and silver keep your spending power in this old system, which, to be honest, died in 2008. I've been saying this since 2008. And then they move it into the new system so you can actually use it. But to be honest, there are chances between now and then. Oh my God, there will be opportunities when these assets that are currently way too expensive drop in price. That's why I really want people to understand that what we're seeing and dealing with is just history happening again. Therefore, if you can learn to read the signs, you will be able to take advantage of the fact that people are tired of all the inflation that has been caused by making money. And I know that makes everyone laugh because it's funny, but people need to understand that it doesn't cost anything to make money, whether it's paper money or digital money. That's why that money means nothing. It has no value. This money is made by governments and central banks. A $100 bill costs about 9.2 cents to make. That's crazy. That difference is their pay, so they get to keep it, right? In the water for 4 years, which is now the 4th year. They should be able to give the government any extra money from all the money they make, but they haven't been able to do that for 4 years now. The government is made up of zombies, and the central banks and companies that back them up are also made up of zombies. Now they have to blow it up very big, because that's the only way to get rid of it. Making the change is not easy. Good money is important for everyone, because it's not just for central banks and states. It can't be blown up and taken away. What backs up the stablecoins? The dollar. Based on your best guess, how long do you think the US dollar will last? Do you think it will last another 20 years, 30 years, or 40 years? I believe the name can stay, but I believe that everyone will know about the increase in the next 2 years. It doesn't mean anything. The name of the system that gives us money stays the same. The Federal Reserve System. We now have dollars because of Bretton Woods. We have money now. That 1971 is over. We have money. It's just a name, right, my producer? Because at that moment, they have the cleanest eyes of anyone. And I never really think about what the people want. I try, but I've done this in some way my whole life. I don't know what you need to know, but don't know. But a new person does. 2 weekends ago, I was in Florida for a meeting with the Citizens for Sound Money. That's why I brought this up. We met with Byron. Please change this because I can't remember his last name. I have it in mind? Thanks. Okay. So, a few weekends ago, some of us from Citizens for Sound Money went to Florida, which just recently made gold and silver money. Also, we met with Byron Donalds, who has been backed by President Trump to be the next governor. Also, the meeting was great. We didn't have much time, but that was the first time I did it. After the meeting, it was great, but we still have work to do even though they passed. Missouri is the first state to let you pay your taxes with gold or silver. This law was just passed recently. I love that then. We're getting better. We're getting better. It's interesting that we didn't go to lunch with Byron afterward, but with the Citizens for Sound Money. I was talking to Daniel Diaz, who works as a publicist and is in charge of this cause. I told him the same thing I told you. People who are new don't know what to do when they come in. These eyes are very clean. I'm not sure when it will start yet, but we are going to add another live show where he will teach me how to get involved in local politics instead of just telling me that he has done it. Okay? And I think this is still scary. It's still not clear to me. Okay? I say use me. We have to learn this together, so we can. Otherwise, our system will turn into a feudal one. We need to get good money back into it. And if they get their way, your kids will have no chances at all. This is the World Economic Forum. By 2030, you will own nothing. That is not going to make you happy if you have to leave everything, even the cup you want to drink from. Typed up by turboscribe.ai. To get rid of this message, go to GONE Unlimited.